Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. This evening will be Bonfire Night, Guy Fawkes Night, the celebration of the man called Guy Fawkes, and British people will be lighting fireworks. We will be setting off fireworks around the UK, and we'll also be lighting fires in our gardens, and there will be organised firework displays with big bonfires burning throughout the night. As I mentioned in my weekly lesson, Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes Night these days is becoming more and more unpopular, and is beginning to fall foul of political correctness. If you fall foul of something, or fall foul because of something, it means that you come under a set of rules which perhaps you would have preferred to avoid. So if you get caught doing something, you fall foul of that particular rule. Think of foul in sport. A foul in football is when something happens which isn't allowed. It's the same kind of thing. And to fall foul just means to come under its law or rule, to fall foul of something. We're going to read a news story today about a guide dog. That's a dog that looks after blind people. Now, because Guy Fawkes Night is becoming very unpopular, more and more we're hearing stories about how dangerous it is and how bad it is for animals. And the BBC are carrying a story today about that, which we're going to read together. Guy Fawkes Night is just a night of entertainment for kids. It's a little bit strange, and it was forced by the government between its happening in 1605 all the way up to 1859. So basically this guy, his name was Guy Fawkes, tried to destroy a parliament building. He failed and he was hanged. And the government ordered that on November the 5th, every year, we had to celebrate it. Finally, that law was taken away in 1859. The law was repealed. That just means taken away. And then people had a choice whether they wanted to celebrate it or not. So that would explain why these days it's still so popular. Because in my grandparents' generation, they would recognize this festival from their grandparents as being something that they had to do. It's also a very busy night for the National Health Service. That's our hospital service and our doctors, because many people end up with serious burns. Fireworks which don't go off properly. You also have the bonfire, which can be very dangerous. Bonfire just means big fire, okay? So yeah, it's a kind of a dangerous night. So you can see why many people are beginning to question it. Also, the cost of fireworks. I was in a supermarket the other day. They were selling them. Not many supermarkets sell fireworks anymore because they're very dangerous. But this particular supermarket, it was selling fireworks. I think it was about £50 per carton. So not the cheapest of evenings if you're trying to entertain your children. Now, I have to say, this is a little bit emotive. It seems to me that as soon as there's a mood which develops, bringing with it an opinion on Guy Fawkes Night, the media are very quick to take advantage of that and bring us some very sad stories. And this week we've been reading some of those stories, all about Guy Fawkes Night, both in my weekly lesson and yesterday. So today, there's a news story on the BBC with a blind woman holding a dog, very emotive. And this is the story. It says, as Bonfire Night approaches and the days get shorter, Amanda Baker's heart sinks. Okay, so the days are getting shorter because, of course, the clocks have changed. Heart sinking means when you feel sad. It's something we use to describe how we feel. My heart sank when I saw my cat's health, for example, or when I saw I was losing my job, or when I saw some bad scene, maybe in a movie or something. Sadness, we often say, my heart sank. For Amanda, who is partially sighted and supported by her guide dog, Eddie, that's the yellow dog, the Labrador, the Golden Retriever Labrador, that's the breed of dog which comes and helps blind people. For Amanda, who is partially sighted and supported by her guide dog Eddie, it means she will have to stay home every evening to protect him from his terror of fireworks, because they never know when they might go off. So when we're talking about fireworks, we talk about setting off fireworks, letting off fireworks, and we talk about fireworks going off. Now, we spoke before about the verb going when something is in transition. Relationships going sour, when your relationship with someone isn't going so well. Food going off, and fireworks also go off, but food going off means you can't use it. Fireworks going off, alarms go off, means when they begin to work. Now, this story is telling us that the dog doesn't like it. And of course, by using prepositions, or rather I should say pronouns, subject pronouns, we've given the dog an identity by calling the dog him, not it. So it makes the story more emotive. We're talking about the guide dog, it's he, and his name is Eddie. Well, I do the same with my cats. My cat's name is Pitoffy, and I refer to him as he, because he's one of the family. But in a news story, it makes it seem more real. And of course, they've managed to find someone who's blind to make the story even more emotive. It says here, Amanda from Flintshire. I've never heard of that before, Flintshire. It says, Amanda from Flintshire said the season had already started where she lives, hearing the bangs of fireworks. And she says that Eddie, the dog, is getting very upset, and it takes hours for him to settle down. Yeah, my little cat was at the window last night. I mean, I don't think he cares, but he was staring. But he does that anyway because he hates the neighbours. So he waits for one child in particular to walk past, and then he starts to hiss. Psst, psst. He doesn't like the little boy who lives down the road. It's very strange. Anyway, here we actually have an organisation called the British Fireworks Association. Never heard of that. It says it encourages responsible use of fireworks and urges people to be considerate of their neighbours, particularly those with pets. Amanda said she has raised this issue on social media channels, but nothing has changed. Well, what does she expect? Is she hoping that she's going to change the law, is she? Or what I wonder what she expected to happen. She says she's raised the issue on social media to no avail, which means nothing's changed. I wonder what she was hoping to change, because we can say anything we want in social media, but It's just opinion. It doesn't usually change anything, does it? I mean, what was she hoping for? Someone to come along with some earplugs or earmuffs for her dog? Or did she hope that she would be able to change the law? Hard to know what she wanted, but anyway, she says, Eddie gets very stressed. He cries, she said. As big as he is, he climbs all over me. His heart is racing. We've tried everything that's available to comfort him. He won't eat, he won't drink, he won't go out. Okay, and she says, it's very stressful for the dog, and on top of that, it's stressful for us because we are worried about him. So this story has changed from a blind woman with a dog into plural. So she obviously has a family, which is nice. Maybe that helps the dog to feel better. But the story is put in a particular way. It's giving us the idea that there's a woman with a dog who's blind. But as the story continues, it's kind of unfolding that she's not alone, she's not suffering alone with the dog, which is good. It says here, sometimes the dog gets so stressed, I worry he's going to have a heart attack or a stroke because there's no comforting him at all. And she says it means a loss of independence for her as well because she can't go out with him in those evenings. And there's a picture of the dog looking miserable with big sad eyes. Yeah, this story is written in a particular way, I think, to make us feel sad. My heart sank when I started to read it. And then it says, the charity Guide Dogs said about a quarter of guide dog owners report that their animals show signs of distress when they hear or see fireworks. Yeah, by the way, guide dogs who look after blind people in America, they're not called guide dogs, they're called seeing eye dogs. Yeah, so you might come across that in movies. If you mention the word guide dog to an American, they're not going to understand. Okay, so seeing eye dogs. Here's another organization. Tim Stafford, director of Canine Affairs, never heard of them, said the organization works hard to socialize their puppies and expose them to firework sounds through recordings. Oh, I see. So he trains dogs, does he, to make them okay with fireworks? I'm not sure if it says here director of Canine Affairs. I'm not sure if that's actually part of the charity Guide Dogs or part of the other charity about fireworks. But whoever he is, the director of Canine Affairs, said the organization works hard to socialize their puppies and expose them to firework sounds through recordings. Puppies, that's the word we use for little dogs. He goes on to say, but the real thing is very different, and though most dogs will quickly recover from unexpected sounds, some won't. Mr. Stafford said someone who would normally go home on the bus or the train because they're leaving an office after dark, they can't do that when the fireworks are happening. Okay, so he's talking about blind people, okay, not everyone. The story continues. He would like to see more restrictions on the sale of fireworks, but there are things that could be done to easily improve lives by choosing silent fireworks or not having firework displays at home, making sure that you only go to ones organized by the government. And then there's a picture here of Amanda with her, I don't know, husband, partner, whatever, with the dog. The dog is looking miserable again. And it says here, in a statement, the British Fireworks Association says it understood the concerns raised by Amanda and guide dogs, but it was important to balance these with negative impacts of stricter regulations, such as the rise in black market sales. That would be sales which are not authorized by anyone and are illegal. But it does want the sale of fireworks to be raised to age 21, because many people around the age of 18 are buying them. And also they want to tackle some antisocial behavior. And now there's a picture here as well of the dog. It's just a picture of the dog's eyes. And you know, dogs have those big sad eyes. The dog has been prescribed a sedative medication to help him stay calm through fireworks season. Amanda says, though it helps a little bit, it only takes the edge off. It doesn't cure him. Yeah, this is a very emotive story. I mean, I don't want to make light of it, but yeah, I mean, it's a little bit over the top, I would say. Although, I mean, she is blind and she needs that dog. But I don't know why she thinks people are going to listen to her. Do people care so much? I very much doubt that. She says here she's doing all she can to keep him calm, covering the windows with blankets to block out the noise and the flashes of lights. That's what I do when Celine Dion is on TV. And then she says she turns up the volume on the TV. Well, I don't do that when Celine Dion is on. It says here, she added that last year he was so withdrawn from working because of the issue. But she asked guide dogs if she could keep him. Yeah, so Guide Dogs is the name of the organization that gives guide dogs. Apparently, when a guide dog retires, you don't automatically get to keep him. You're given a new dog because, of course, you're blind and you need that. And the old dog is put into retirement. Yeah, it's interesting. I heard a story about this a few weeks ago. Anyway, it says here, Eddie gives me confidence. He's such a love and a bond. I feel I can conquer the world when I am with him. He's such a love and a bond. Oh, I see. Let me read that again. He gives me confidence. There's such a love and a bond between us. Yeah, I knew something was missing there. He gives me confidence. There's such a love and a bond between us. I feel I can conquer the world where I am with him. So this story clearly is designed to make us feel sad and to help us move away from fireworks. And the next story on the list here is that a firework that was set off a few days ago hit a cliff, a mountain in Wales, created a fire and set a major blaze all across the side of a cliff, which has devastated biodiversity. And that's another big story. So yeah, fireworks cause blaze on a cliff edge. So you can hear they're building up reasons for us to stop celebrating Guy Fawkes Night. And it's beginning to look more and more negative. I mean, they don't show us on TV fireworks displays. They simply give us negative stories. So I think it's only a matter of time before this night begins to disappear. Fireworks won't. They're happily being set off for other reasons, as I've discussed before. Weddings, funerals, drug dealers, everyone uses them. So it's a little bit strange that they're targeting only fireworks night, or bonfire night, Guy Fawkes Night. So I would guess it slowly will be disappearing soon. Maybe even in my lifetime. But that's it from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. So Guy Fawkes Night tonight. If I get the chance, I might go for a little walk and describe to you the hazy, dark night, and you can hear some of the noises. I'll see what time I finish if I'm able to do that. See you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye.